Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday Show. Today, episode 222. What an amazing number. And as you are jumping in here, obviously, I'm in a different location. If you've been following me for a few years, you might actually know where I am. I'm just going to reveal the secret in a moment. But if you already have an idea where I'm sitting, leave a comment below. It's not in the mountains anymore where I was cold. It's really hot here. So that might give you a hint. So I'm going to wait for a moment for people to jump in. So if you're already here, say hello, leave a comment below. And if you are on the replay, and this will take another minute or two, just use the opportunity to take a deep breath, to remove any distractions. Maybe do grab a glass of water. I invite you to be fully present. I would suggest not to do 3, 4, 5 things at the same time. Close your tabs if you're watching this on a laptop. Mute your phone. Be fully present for the next 20 minutes or so. And I'm going to dive in just a moment. Let me know if the sound is good, because again, I'm in a new location. When traveling, it's generally a bit more challenging than when I'm in an office that is stable. Okay? So who's in the house? Say hello, say hello. Oh, El Salvador. That is a great guess. No. Emily, I'm trying to be here while also babysitting a 1-year-old. Not sure it will work. I love it. Having a 1-year-old is obviously a little bit, challenging, and be as present as you can. Totally fine. The sound is good. Okay. So for those who want to guess where I am, I'm going to jump into the topic right away. And if you're new to the show and you're wondering what is she talking about, welcome. I am just moving and I'm not in Colombia anymore. And I am somewhere where I have been already before. So it's not South America. So that makes it maybe even easier. And I'm going to reveal it in just a moment. I give you another tip that will be super easy for those who know me a little bit more. I used to live here. It should be easy now. It should be easy. Yay, Dolin got it. Turks and Caicos. Yes. No, not Costa Rica, Emily, but yeah, we got it already. I'm in the Turks and Caicos Islands. So let me jump in, and I will also let you know why I'm here, and I will tell you many more other things. Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday Show from the beautiful islands of Turks and Caicos. I used to live here. For those who don't know it, I used to live here for 8 years before I moved to the Dominican Republic. I left Colombia, and I'm going to share a little bit about the story because it relates to the topic of today. Today's topic is the 2 most important tools to keep your energy going and to get unstuck. Now, I want to invite you or give a little disclaimer. When we hear something that we might have heard before, you might have heard this before. However, whatever I'm going to share, I'm not the person I was back then. You are not the person back then. You always have 2 choices. I mean, you have more than 2, but you can kind of stay stuck in, oh, I know this already. This is not new. Or you can be super open and simply acknowledge that voice in you, because I had that voice for many years, and sometimes it pops up once in a while here and there. So when if you maybe have that thought of, oh, I know this already, this is not new information, acknowledge that voice, acknowledge that thought, take a deep breath, and be open to receive. Because even though this might, and it might not, be information that you've heard already, it truly can change your life. And maybe it's the repetition or the reminder you needed today. Because one of the things that I'm going to share with you, I've known forever and I've been teaching forever, and yet I was neglecting it. And I really took it on because that was one of the reasons that I had a hard time getting unstuck. Okay, take a nice deep breath. And I want to tell you a quick story because I only recently came out of a very challenging time. And let me tell you one other thing. It is a bit scattered today, but I want to say one thing so that you are prepared. Where I'm at right now, there's a lot of background noise, possibly. There are cats, the dogs, there's a parrot who makes the funniest noises. Maybe there's a helicopter, and maybe there's a plane. Bear with me. Maybe today the sound of the background noise is louder than usual. It is simply, and then there's a wind. So I apologize for it. And I also appreciate you simply being in acceptance with what is, and you focus more on the content than on the background noise. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for your understanding. I recently went to Costa Rica. I was in, not Costa Rica, I was in Colombia. And the last few weeks before I left Colombia, I was on the mountains. I was house sitting for a friend, and it was quite isolated. It was quite cold. It was raining constantly. And I was going through a challenging time, and through the isolation and through the weather, I'm very weather sensitive. I felt like I was back in Germany. That's why I left Germany, because I was really depressed in the winter time there. And also going through hormonal changes and the challenging time that I had in the last couple of weeks and couple of months, and actually the whole last year. I'm sharing this with you because all of that contributed to the fact that for about 2 weeks, I was going through a real challenging time. I felt like I was caught up in those old patterns of depression, loneliness, self judgment, and through the hormonal changes, also, that is mind blowing what it does to us. Actually, I never thought that would hit me so hard. I was in a very depressive state, and I was revisiting that. I'm sharing this with you because I felt stuck at some point. I felt like I wasn't getting out of it, and I kept meditating every day, and I kept working with, some of the people I work. And at some point I felt I gotta get the big guns out now. And that means to call my teacher, mentor, and friend on the path in the meanwhile that I've been working for over 26 years with. And I waited a little longer because I was in that state, caught up in that mud, in that illusion of the lower chakras, and kind of like in a dark space. I felt ashamed. I didn't want to bother her. I didn't feel in that moment reaching out. So it took me a little bit longer than it would have been good. But finally, I said, okay, she's the only one that can understands really the soul level of this and can help me unhook. Now, I sent her an email. She took the time. We're talking. The one thing that I want to share with you, because it's so crucial, it's so simple. You will think, oh, Sonia, duh. That is one of the two most important tools. Yes, it is. It will come in a minute. So she helped me, obviously. I'm doing shifting the energy, reconnecting me with my soul. The thing, ultimately, any pain we are in is a disconnection from our true self, from the being that we are, and we are, so to say, caught up in the Maya we call the illusion, and the dream, the not being awakened to who we really are. Now, don't want to go too much into it, but she's obviously very advanced, and she helped me to reconnect. And one of the things also, when we tap deeper into the energy of the solar plexus and the back of the solar plexus on my heart, it was so tight, so stuck. Let's call it stuck for lack of better words, that only the energy work and the meditation that I was doing wasn't enough. And I realized that I hadn't moved for a couple of weeks. And granted, I've always been a very active person. Last year, through my surgery, I couldn't move for months. So that was very challenging. But what I did then, since then, the following day, I was like, okay, I need movement. I need vigorous movement to help break the energy, that stuckness, because meditation alone wasn't doing it. So I already shared the two most important tools, by the way. But I wanted to share you the story because I remembered it in such a strong way. And then I took it upon, like, every day for 20 minutes. I said, for 20 minutes, I'm going to move no matter what. And in the beginning, first, my mind came in and I was like, oh, I got to find the right music. What am I actually going to do? How does this look like? And I was all caught up and I just stopped and said, no, you put the music on, you just move. It's not about the exercise. It's not about looking good. For me, it was about moving my body vigorously to help the energy shift again. And that doesn't matter what it is. So when I did that for a few days, and I actually even started to run again. I haven't run like I used to run regularly. And I remembered how much I loved it, but also how creative I get when I actually run. So having said all of that, I'm going to be short. The two most important tools to get unstuck when you're on the path and you're doing the work. Like, if you're not doing the work and you're not doing anything and you're stuck, then obviously you want to get help to resolve whatever underlying issues are also there. However, meditation is still, for me, one of the most powerful tools to get unstuck. However, it is energy-based meditation. Energy meditation that incorporates the four flows of energy and that helps you to unhook and to shift your energy to go above whatever it is that is keeping you stuck. Does that make sense? Now, sometimes when we are really stuck and the energy is crusted, I call it crusted. I feel it, my core channel was tight and some of my chakras were like crusted, like a crab that has its shell. Meditation alone sometimes does not get you out of it. However, meditation keeps you alive, keeps you functioning, and keeps you from diving deeper into the mud. If you're not meditating at all, then please start. But if you are stuck, you get to meditate even more. However, that one tool alone might not help you to get fully unstuck. The second tool is movement. And it's so underestimated. I was neglecting it because of, first of all, I'm not back in shape. I'm still in recovery. And through the travels, when you travel, I find it more challenging to keep real exercise going. And I want to talk about movement for a moment. This is my experience, my perception, and that's why I'm sharing it with you this way. I might change my mind, or for you, it might something else works differently. But in my experience is, if you're stuck and you want to get unstuck and you're using these two tools, you want to take 20 minutes. 20 minutes of movement. Whether, and again, I know how it is if we are not capable of doing certain things like jumping up and down or doing something that is more strenuous. However, the movement needs to have a vigorous intensity to break the energy. Because if it's too soft, like stretching or yoga, can be very helpful. However, if you are in a place where you feel, oh, I feel so stuck, and you are breathing and you're meditating, you want to have vigorous movement. It does not matter what it is. I was doing random stuff in the living room. I just put some shoes on. It wasn't even good workout shoes or anything. I didn't overcomplicate it. I put music in, that helps, and I just started to move. I remembered certain things that I used to do when I was an aerobics instructor. I ran up and down a few stairs that were there. Ran outside. I did a few jumping jacks. Whatever I was able to do and was came on mind, and I used my hands to open my solar plexus and to open my chest, to open the crusted places that were so stuck. So you want to do vigorous movement. If you have vigorous movement in some way or another, and you do energy-based meditation, and you give it a few days, I can nearly guarantee you that it will break something open and it will shift your energy. Depending on the state that you're in, you might need still more help. That's okay. But these two tools are, in my experience, the most powerful tools when you are already working on yourself and you are stuck and you feel nothing is really moving. Now, I want to take a moment to see your comments. I'm going to take a sip of water, and please let me know what's resonating here for you. And in case you don't know my story, but when I started to work on myself and I felt extremely bad about myself, meditation and the inner work obviously helped me to transition and shift. Meditation, even in the darkest of moments, when these cycles come, saved my life many times, by the way. I still believe that energy-based meditation, practiced daily, can change your life forever. Combination with energy-based meditation and movement will make a difference. Again, if there's something else that needs to be done, obviously do the work and get help. Get help sooner rather than later. Don't wait too long. If it's a mentor, if it's a teacher, if it's a coach, I do this with my clients over the years. They're hit at some point or another deep, deep valleys of pain, trauma, emotions, patterns that come up. And I also want to invite you to look at those moments of challenges of, I call it the dark night of the soul. When you go through a cycle of a dark night of the soul, oftentimes, and I used to be that person, I judged it, I was ashamed of it. Not many other coaches, gurus, healers. I'm not a guru, by the way, right? But I'm saying a lot of people in my industry don't talk about when they're going through it. So it can give the illusion of, oh, once you get a certain level, you're just good. And if this happens to me, something is wrong with me. There's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of shame. We hide. I want you to know this is for many, not for everyone, but for many people on the path. Going through a darker cycle is part of the journey. And I invite you to look at it with love, with trust, with acceptance, and even with the knowledge, especially if you are yourself are a healer or coach, or you're working with people in some way or another, that if you use it in your inner work period, or in your inner work, on your inner work journey, it will make you better. It will make you learn something new. It's always an opportunity. Each time I come out of a cycle like this, whether it's hormonal, whether it's psychological, whether it's physical, it does not matter. I am different, I am better, and I am more evolved. So there's also always a gift when we go through something deep. And sometimes it can last for a long time. This didn't last as long. However, it's also because I've been on this journey a long time. and I know a lot, and I have a lot of tools, and I have the right people to help me. Now, in the past, I could have been in those phases for months or maybe even years. But if you see them as an opportunity to learn and to evolve and to get better, it can actually be a gift. I'm going to repeat the two most important tools. Again, whether you've heard this before, whether you've done it or not, it does not matter. If you feel really stuck and you do the work and you know about energy, the two things that help you shift your energy and get unstuck, the best way is number one, meditation, energy based meditation, and vigorous movement of some kind to help release the crusted. Movement is incredibly important also to tap into your creativity. It's obviously it's very healthy to move. We all know this. We know exercise, good diet, meditation, good sleep, enough water. These are all essentials. This is nothing new. However, often we neglect those. And I was neglecting movement, and I was so stuck that I talked myself out of it. I'm tired. Nobody cares. Like when you're in a dark place and you are by yourself on top of it, nobody is kicking your butt. That's why accountability and mentoring and coaching is so important. Because when we are in it by ourselves, if you don't have someone that sees you as a soul and then goes beyond that drama and that illusion of being caught up into the lower chakra energy, you can stay stuck quite a long time. So I invite you for if you are stuck right now, or if you've been in the past and remember it in the future, or you know someone that is stuck, these two tools, keep doing them for a couple of days consistently, no matter what. It doesn't matter how you feel. Don't be attached to the outcome. And don't use exercise to look better or to lose weight or to build muscles on your butt or whatever it is. Focus on shifting the energy and feeling good, opening up, moving, opening up, moving. And I can promise it will make a difference. So, what are you hearing that's most valuable for you today? I will go over a few comments. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or on the Insight Timer app, and you are listening to the audio version, please leave me a review. It means the world to me. I always love to hear your takeaways, and you leaving a review is also supporting my work. Here are a few takeaways, and keep them coming. I'm going to scroll here for a moment. I'm going to check your comments. Your biggest takeaway for today, leave a comment below. Yeah, and Barbara is saying, I go to the gym, always makes me feel more alive, or walking around my neighborhood gets me to see nature. Yes, it makes us feel more alive. It keeps our energy moving. I like to dance while I'm doing laundry. I love that. I'm currently walking with my dog, part of my active meditation. I also am committed to my daily meditation upon wake and sleep, and have started bringing music and movement. It has brought a whole new awareness and transformation. Absolutely, yes. Here's a great takeaway that I want to share: a new attitude to darkness. And I think that's a really important piece. You might feel good right now, so you are not remembering how you sometimes talk to yourself when you are in a dark place. Being in acceptance and trusting and being open and being kind and self-loving when you go through these phases, super crucial to get the lesson also, or to get out of it in a better way. Thank you, Jill. My skeptical nature resists it still, but I know I can observe my thoughts and body and know it's not I am. Yes, absolutely. I said in the very beginning, there is a part in us that might come up in this show that says, oh, I know this already, or we resist it, or something. That's okay. Welcome it. take a breath, be aware of it, let it be there, and yet you can move forward to that. That's great, Alyssa. I talk myself out of exercise all the time. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Change the wording to I talk myself out of it to create a little separation and say a part of me, I have a voice in me that's talking me out of it. Create separation. And I get it. Like we all get it. Like I'm with you. And at some point you make that conscious choice, you just move no matter what, even if it's 5 minutes. Because I'm not talking about being, you got to go to the gym and you got to go have the plan. No, it's about movement, simply movement, 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 movement. Meditation and movement, great takeaway. Move with purpose. Motion kills the emotion. Yeah, great takeaway. Takeaway. Barbara, yes, I am in Turks and Caicos. You came a little late, I guess. Yeah, I'm out of the cold. So Alyssa's takeaway, keep doing the work. So challenging to embrace darkness, so important to remember. Yes, yes. It's it's a choice also, and it's training and it's a remembering. Yes. Remember in those moments. And that's why it's also so important to work with someone when we go through these phases, because you most likely won't remember sometimes, or maybe you are too caught up in self-judgment. Someone else can help you out because they will still see you as who you are, when sometimes we lose sight of who we are when we are cut off, so to say, or in that illusion of who we are not. Let me recap for a moment a few things. When you're in a state of stuckness, of course, get help. Number one, do the inner work. Obviously, if you resonate with me, I have an opening. If you want to get my personal help, reach out to me. If you have already someone, it could even be a friend. However, sometimes we don't even want to reach out when we're in it. The two most important tools is meditation, energy-based meditation that at least keeps you functioning, keeps you alive, keeps you good. And the second is movement, vigorous movement of some kind. And those two combined with the deeper inner work and support will get you unstuck. It's only not going to get you unstuck if you don't do it. It's very simple. I know it's not easy sometimes, but it's very simple. Keep doing the work, keep moving, keep meditating. And in the darkest of moments, I live by the premise there's always something good in everything. Even when we're in it, we might not see it. Most likely we won't. But there's always something good in everything. Embrace those dark moments, experiences, phases, whatever you want to call them, because there's always something good that comes out. For me, a lot good came out of it. I want to share a few things and then I wrap this up. The fact that I started to run again, that alone for me, this dark period was worth it, because I didn't have the intention to run. I play tennis, I dance, I love other things. However, I remembered how much I love it and how much creativity it gives me when I run. Even though I started to run like with 5 minutes, I am out of shape. I get to ease into it. The other thing, this show came out of it. The topic came out of it. And I know it will help. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone else. But I would have not talked about this if I wouldn't have gone through it. I got a really nice download for a program that will be out at some point. I still get to create it. But what I'm saying is a lot of good things are coming out of this. If I wouldn't have been in that difficult time by myself up there, I would not be in Turks and Caicos, because a friend of mine invited me and I felt I wanted to be surrounded by friends. I wanted to have some warmth. I wanted to play tennis again. So I'm taking a few weeks here to recover, to get back in shape physically. And I'm enjoying this time. And in this time, I can see what is going to be my next step. All these things would have not happened if I wouldn't have been in such a depressive state or painful cycle going through this dark night of the soul. Let this be an inspiration for today. Move, meditate, come back next Monday for a new episode of Soul Infused Monday. And I wish you a fantastic day. Please leave a comment with your biggest takeaway or leave me a review on Insight Timer or Spotify. I always check all the comments after the show and it warms my heart. Sending you much love. I appreciate you and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now.